Roll it up, tuck it in. This is where the 420 begins. Welcome to Animo's 420 Sesh, where we talk about cannabis, the most commonly used, federally illegal drug.
Yo, 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 it's Animo, and how are you today? It's so good to see you, and we got Tyra over yonder. Hey, Booba Cakes, what you doing?
Hey, Boo Boo Cakes. I'm doing good. I took a
Ooh.
nap.
Oh,
I took a nap.
yeah.
Yeah. I took a
Naps are
nap.
really good.
Oh, I needed it at my age, honey.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, what are you,
yeah.
29?
Oh, heck no, I wish. I wish.
Oh, maybe I
Yeah,
need
I
two
just turned on my
29-year-olds.
microphone. Maybe so. I don't know because I'm gonna be 56 this year. I ain't scared.
Wow.
I'm 56 pretty soon.
Well, you look good
Yeah.
for
So I needed a
56.
nap. Yeah, my body was like, I'm going down. They may be able to notice that in the last video or the last podcast we did.
Oh,
When they
yeah.
see when you drop it, yeah, I'm like, ugh. It definitely was
You
not the
must.
company. It was just I was getting out. I was going,
Yeah,
ugh.
sure, guys. Really, what she was doing was
Yeah.
little indica is what she had. She was in the couch, is more like it.
And
You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes, I was actually.
That's
Oh my
pretty cool.
goodness, that is
Well,
funny.
how's your weekend been? Have you had a good weekend?
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been
Any
wonderful.
news?
Yeah.
Any
Mm,
news on the storefront?
oh, yeah. Guess what?
What?
I mean, I just found out that Amazon wants me to be a influencer.
Oh, hell yeah. That's so awesome.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, sure, I'll sell hats and hoodies and all the things that I love. No problem. No problem. I will show them off, buddy. Wait till they see what kind of style I got. Pajama
That is so
bottoms.
cool. That is so
And
cool.
don't forget house shoes.
Oh, right. Well, I need a pair, so
Okay, well, I'll
uh,
find some and you buy it from my shop, okay?
okay, darling, I will. I'll just pay us to
To
buy
pay,
stuff.
yeah, yes, we'll get paid to
Okay.
buy stuff from me.
Okay, well, that'll work.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh
Well,
my gosh. Hmm.
um, so you got some really cool news. Well, I wanted to tell you some really cool news. I mean, I don't know if it's not really news, I guess. I don't
Hmm.
know. It's just something interesting that I found out about George Washington. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Our first president. So first I just want
Yeah,
to say that it's about hemp. So first I just want to say that
George
hemp,
Washington. Okay.
yeah, that hemp and marijuana are the same plant, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And the major difference is that hemp is a mixture of female and male plants, whereas marijuana is a female plant. Okay. But
I
its
did not
flowers,
know that.
yeah. So the flowers in hemp, the male and females, they produce less than 0.3% THC. So hemp plants, they also tend to be a little bit taller and contain more fiber in their stalks. Well, industrial hemp was widely used in colonial times to create fiber for rope, clothing, soaps, and other products. And in the 1700s, it was so valuable that the state of Virginia paid farmers to grow it. George Washington, our first president, he took advantage of
Wow.
this, applied for the bounty, and grew the crop at his estate in at Mount Vernon in what he called the Muddy Hole.
Mm.
Unfortunately, there's no evidence, however, that he intentionally grew cannabis or marijuana for recreational or medical use, or
Wow.
that he even smoked it, but rather he just used it for those industrial hemp products. So I just find it really, really interesting that we've got this marijuana and all of the amazing options that are out there for it. So I know
And then
today.
all of a sudden, not to be able to use it, but yeah, the first president of the entire United States was like growing it.
Yeah, on his freaking fucking
I mean,
property, man.
right?
That's crazy.
What the?
At Mount Vernon,
I mean, you
in
want to
Mount
talk about
Vernon,
my oxymoron?
hello, yeah, but I mean, think about it. Mount Vernon, which is where all the presidents go and hang out, right? I mean, that's stupid. But anyway, I know that's not what our show
Wait a
is
minute.
about tonight.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Where presidents
In
go?
Mount Vernon, in Mount Vernon,
No,
where
they
all
go
the
to camp. No, they go to Camp David.
Martha's camp. Okay, whatever. Well,
It's okay.
shows you
You
how
were
much I know
close.
about our own history. Well,
Take
anyway,
another Coke, honey.
I know, right? um, so tonight's show is not actually about hemp. However, we are talking to someone really cool chick that you actually know,
Yes.
Kimberly. She
Yes.
has Crohn's disease and
Yes.
has been battling it for quite some time. And so we're really going to be exploring those therapeutic benefits of marijuana for Crohn's disease. So guys,
I
hey,
haven't seen her
sit.
in a long time. It's gonna be cool to see her. I haven't seen her in a long time.
Well, that is awesome. Well, guys, sit back, relax. We'll be right back. I got to take a toke break. See you in
That
just a minute.
rhymes a little bit.
Oh, and don't forget, hey, cannabis is the most commonly used federally
Federally
illegal
illegal
drug.
drug. Yeah.
And roll it up, tuck it in. This is where the
This is where the
420
fourth one
begins.
began.
See you in just a hot minute.
Hey.
And welcome back. We've got wonderful, awesome Kim with us today. And of course, my sidekick, Tyra. She's
That's
actually
me.
in the kitchen
Yeah.
making us some banana pudding. So,
I'm making
if you're
The Paula Deen, not your mama's
version,
pudding. That's the best kind.
oh my gosh,
Kim, you're going to
it'll
have to
make
fly
you,
over here. Get you
yeah,
some.
it'll make your tongue slap your brains out. That's for
That's
sure.
like,
That's
yeah,
what I
like your
gotta
mama.
say.
Mm-hmm.
Twice. Well, I'm so excited to have Kim on the show. It's all about 420 and
Yeah.
Crohn's.
Yeah.
So Miss Kim is going to lead us into her personal journey. And why don't you just tell us a little quick tidbit about yourself, your name, maybe your demographics or something like that.
Okay, sure. My name is Kim. Pronouns she, her. I live in Denver, Colorado. I have some pets. I'm currently a therapist, and I have a pretty, what I consider, wild story of chronic illness and cannabis.
Right
Yes, you
on.
do.
Well, we
Yes.
love some marijuana up in this place. So, I mean, this is the doobie den.
There
So,
you
It
go.
is.
We're in the right
well,
place.
we certainly are. Well, Kim, can you share a bit about your background and when you were diagnosed with Crohn's and any other chronic illnesses that you had mentioned that when that all took place?
Sure. So my journey kind of begins when I was 13 and hit puberty and started having periods and quickly figured out something was not right pain wise.
Mm-hmm.
But it took
Wow.
me about 6 years of going, in and out of doctors, really struggling every month with pain so bad that I'd be in and out of the ER or just urgent care. When I was 19, I finally met a doctor that believed me and proceeded with surgery and diagnosed me with endometriosis when I was 19. So that's kind of where the journey begins. And because I had suffered for so long, I developed kind of this like reliance on modern medicine from a young age, because back when I was 13, nothing helped cramps unless it was like muscle relaxers, painkillers. And so I was into
Mm-hmm.
modern medicine at a really young age and felt very dependent on it too at a very young.
Wow.
So I dealt with endometriosis for, that was like the main star of my chronic illness disaster journey. And something stressful happened to me when I was about 22. And quickly, it was like a switch had flipped within me. I really quickly was just dragging. I had no energy, no appetite. It felt like an extended flu or something, and started to lose some weight, having some GI symptoms, and I really just chalked it up to stress. And so did my family. And so, like 6 months later, when I'm still losing weight, still having issues, I finally started being like, maybe I need to go to a GI specialist. Like, there's got to be something else wrong. For a while, I was even blaming endometriosis and just being like, maybe this is just how it presents now, and I'm just getting older, and it's just the disease progressing, whatever. But anyways, once again, I enter modern medicine, go through all these diagnostics, and also once again, doctors aren't believing me about my symptoms. They told me I had an eating disorder, and it's like, dude, I would love to eat. I just don't have any appetite, or if I eat, it's out one end or the other. You're just so ill. And so it was finally when I ended up needing 2 emergency blood transfusions because I was basically unable to stand or walk. That's when I ended up in an ER in Atlanta, and they were like, no, this isn't just IBS and stress, and like, she doesn't have an eating disorder. She has Crohn disease this whole time.
Shit.
So by that time I was 23, spent a couple weeks in the hospital, getting just like recuperated, but honestly really blasted with modern medicine again, and that's when my quality of life, which had already been a struggle, at least monthly, that's when it totally changed for the worst. And I was 23, feeling like a 70-year-old, with how just incapable I suddenly felt. I couldn't even walk up the stairs when I got out of the hospital because I had
Oh,
just been,
shit.
like wasting away, just laying around in a hospital bed. Um, Yeah. So my diagnosis was kind of like an emergency big like medical event thing after going a long
Wow.
time with them not really being able to figure out what it was and just not believing me. And I think that part of that is being a woman in healthcare system is that so often we're not really heard. We might be listened to, or it might seem like they're listening for the 5 minutes they meet with us once
Right.
a
5
year,
minutes.
but like, are they really hearing what you're saying? I discovered like, no, it took me finding specific people that would actually
Mm-hmm.
seriously and be like, no, you're right. This isn't normal. So
Wow. So you've been since the age of 13, you're in your
I'm
30s, I
37.
was. Okay. 37. So you've basically been dealing with chronic illnesses for 24 years, a quarter of a century. That's insane. You've
Mhm.
used modern medicine that has inundated your kidneys, your liver, all of that stuff that just is eating you up with so many different contraindications. Let me
Mhm.
ask you, how, when did you get introduced to marijuana or the THC oil or whatever it is, the medical marijuana? When were you introduced to that and how did it come about?
So I have been struggling with both Crohn's and endo for a couple years, definitely in and out of pain management in Georgia because no one else really knew what to do other than throw pain pills at it. And for my own quality of life's sake, I had to be okay with that for a while, because that was helping me survive and be able to work like a normal person and just have some semblance of like a normal life. Um, but that quickly turned into, oh, this medication causes side effects. Here's another one. And then all of a sudden, it turns into a gallon-sized bag of drugs, which is what Tyra witnessed me with at work, in this backpack. And it becomes like a literal ball and chain that you get attached to.
Mm,
I've referenced my, relationship with modern medicine like a ball and chain a lot throughout life because it is such a complicated relationship. But I was on Oxycontin, muscle relaxers, and then fentanyl. And I was under 30, and no doctors had any concern about a kid. I called myself a kid because I still feel like a kid, but no one had any concern about an adult that young being on fentanyl for years.
Holy shit.
I was on fentanyl for 3.5 years until I finally had this moment where I was like, what does the rest of my life look like if this is what 26, 27 look like? Is there any plan? Is there any exit plan for me to get off of these meds? And so I quickly realized there was not, at least through the pain management center I was going to. And none of the doctors really knew what to do with me, because not only do I have, one chronic illness that's difficult to manage, but I now have two. And so
Mm.
life just got really hard, really bleak feeling. And, I just kind of kept going through this cycle of medicate, survive, repeat. It was like I hardly remember some of those periods of life because it was really just trying to get by. And
Yeah.
it was once I really started questioning the system where I was like, oh, well, I hear that they're about to introduce cannabis oil card opportunities here in Georgia with this new law, and Crohn's disease is definitely a condition, and maybe that could help me get off some of these painkillers. So I definitely started experimenting with weed before the card stuff. I definitely got caught by pain management because they drug test you every month. And they told me, they were like, you're going to have to make a decision between consuming weed with high THC levels, because keep in mind the card is only for low THC.
Isn't it 5% or less, or 3% or less?
Goodness,
I
it's been
can't.
so long. It was either
Oh,
3 or 5% or less, but
yeah, we did a little dialogue on it in one of our other shows. Yeah, that's just crazy. That ain't gonna
yeah.
do nothing for you.
Yep. So I went through the process of applying for this cannabis oil card. Was able to finally locate some of it, because that was also the issue, is Georgia was set up to provide patients with cards and wasn't set up to provide patients with medication. So we were getting it through state representatives who were giving these mystery donations and would meet up with you in the streets of downtown Atlanta to pass off a little bottle of cannabis oil.
Of course, that's where you're gonna do the drug deal in Atlanta.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, that's crazy.
Yep.
So you went to the cannabis oil, you used some street drugs, marijuana, good stuff out there. So you've done those. How has marijuana improved your overall quality of life now that it's been introduced?
I was able to stop fentanyl forever,
Yes.
completely get off of it using cannabis concentrates. I think I just celebrate like 7.5 years off of fentanyl or something like that. It's been so long I
Wow.
don't even recall now, and that used to be a really big deal to me, which just shows you how much healing I think has occurred. But yeah, from being able to discontinue 90% of the modern medication I take, to just not having to stress in the same way, knowing that there is a natural medicine that actually really does work well for me personally, so that I don't ever, hopefully, have to end up in the nightmare gallon Ziploc bag of pills kind of
Oh
days.
yeah. So is that gallon bag more of a quart size now, or
I only have to use one injection that's every 2 months or so, and that's it.
okay? So you went from a gallon bag to one injection and some marijuana.
Yep.
I'm sorry. You went from a gallon bag of medicine to one injection every 2 months and marijuana.
Yep.
Holy crap! Well, let me ask you this then: how many other individuals who have Crohn's do you
Praise
know?
Jesus.
Yeah, right. That is just
I mean,
amaze balls.
damn.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that
You're
Damn.
incredible?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
I mean, that just blows my mind. You've got to feel so much better now that you're not you're not living in a life of medication constantly. um, do you have, so Tyra had indicated when you guys worked together that she saw you carrying a backpack around basically everywhere you went. You mentioned that you would carry your medication in that backpack. Are you still carrying around a backpack with any, gosh, Kim, that's incredible. So
Thank
in
you.
any of these other individuals that you know who have Crohn's are using marijuana or to treat them symptoms?
I know so many people out here with Crohn's, which is a big comparison to in Georgia. I only knew one other person in real life that had it, but the people that I know out here also relocated for health and have been able to really manage their Crohn's symptoms with, medical marijuana.
Wow. Do you notice a difference between medical marijuana and recreational marijuana?
No, out here at least, I don't know about other states. It's the exact same from seed to sale. It's just how they designate it once it is, entering a grow. So there's not really a difference. I think some people have the misconception that medical marijuana is stronger, um,
Hmm.
but out
I've
here
heard
on the
that.
side, you can buy more amount wise. So on the rec side, it caps out at 1 ounce per person per day. On the med side, if you have a medical card, you pay less tax rate, which is great if you're a patient and have to shop for medicine all the time. And then you can get higher amounts at once. So 2 ounces upwards of, I think, 8 ounces might be the cap of EPCs these days. I don't remember, but
Wow.
But
um,
don't you think it's strange? This is, I mean, okay, here we go. Um, Kim went from having all this fentanyl running through her system.
mhm.
Fentanyl. Everybody, I mean, there's not one show like on drugs or anything that doesn't talk about fentanyl. As a matter of fact, we're like the opium fentanyl triangle here in the state of Georgia. My
Right.
my one of my very best friend's brother was on that, and
Mm.
it killed him. You
Oh
know,
my God.
he was on intervention.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and so the thing is, here's the thing: you're worried about marijuana when you really should be looking at the fact that you're having to have fentanyl run through your system just to survive, and you're not really surviving and thriving.
Hmm.
I mean, think about how oxymoronish that really is when you're talking about a natural plant
Yeah.
Hmm.
to help
And
somebody in that situation. I mean, that blows my brain. The bozos.
well, and the
And
fact
I don't
that
smoke.
no, you don't, but you married a pothead.
I did. It's okay.
Um, the fact that they're like the doctors made you choose between marijuana and the horrible synthetic medications that to help you feel better. That's crazy that you had to choose between the two.
Hmm.
That's a big problem, I think, in today's medical world, but in just society in general, that there is this negative connotation, negative social stigma about marijuana that people who are stoners are nothing but deadheads,
Hmm.
Yeah.
are wastes of life, have no motivation, don't do anything. But when was the last time you heard overdose on marijuana? When was the last time you heard someone who got killed with marijuana? Um,
Mm-hmm.
when have you heard that, all of these different things that you hear with fentanyl, meth, alcohol, all of that stuff? You don't hear that shit with marijuana. Yet
Hmm.
marijuana seems to have the worst rap in the world about it,
It's
and
like
that just
pit
doesn't make
bulls.
sense.
Pit bulls are the sweetest dogs ever, but man, they get a bad rap. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's the same thing.
It's just crazy, crazy,
Man,
crazy.
it's nuts.
Well, so let me ask you something. This is your second podcast that you have done. What role, and it's been what, about 7 years since you did that other podcast? I can't believe that. That's
I
crazy.
still have it on I still have it. I saved it
Oh,
somewhere.
thanks, Ira.
Girl, yeah, you a rock star.
No, that was a great podcast. But what role do you believe podcasts and other media can play in raising awareness about the benefits of marijuana for chronic illnesses such as Crohn's?
I think definitely, like I said before, I only knew one person in real life with Crohn's in Georgia. So podcasts, social media can help connect you to other people that are going through what you're going through, because it
Mm-hmm.
really is so isolating. So to have community, to reach out to and be like, what worked for you with this? Or just have someone that truly gets it. I think,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think is really important. And I also wanted to say something about what you shared before. There's this like misconception that stoners are so lazy and don't do anything productive and like menaces to society. But what's funny is it was only after the healing that cannabis allowed me to achieve to get me out of survival mode that I was able to pursue higher education, bigger career goals. And, meanwhile, I consume cannabis all the time. And if I was in Georgia, I feel like no one that would know that would think I am a successful person in, the career world,
Mm-hmm.
or that
Mm-hmm.
to get a master's degree. There's just so many judgments about, cannabis consumers.
Exactly. I mean, go
Look at
ahead.
you, boo cakes.
I was going to say, I'm a highly educated woman, have a incredible job doing hard work, legal work, and yeah, I'm a stoner. I smoke daily.
Hmm.
I mean, I
You're
was
college
born on
educated.
420. I was born to be a pothead.
Yes, you were.
420. I was born at 4:26 p.m. on 420 in the afternoon. Yes, pothead Anna. That is me. So,
Destiny.
well, I am exactly. Um, it's destined to do a podcast on 420, right? For
Yeah.
420.
You should
Well,
call it a podcast. That's
it's
a
a
good one.
podcast.
Okay,
Okay,
JJ Roach.
we all right, JJ Roach. That's right. It's now going to be a podcast. We're going to
Oh,
do
shit.
it. Um, well, let me ask you something, Kim. Is there anything else you would like to share about your journey with other listeners about your journey with Crohn's disease and marijuana use specifically?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I guess I just want to say I think how much of a catalyst cannabis was for me, with just healing, getting my life together, having a new start out here, feeling excited about adulthood, like
Mm-hmm.
for the first time ever, because my 20s were not normal, but now my 30s get to be a little bit more normal thanks
Oh
That's
to
good.
yeah.
weed.
Yeah. Woohoo! Go marijuana. Well, you
Yeah.
know what? I created a song. Roll it up, tuck it in. This is where the 420 begins.
Oh, yeah.
It's my
She's going to have
little.
to see it because it's going to be at the first part of the
Yeah,
show.
I sing
But
that at
but
the.
but listen. You need to ask her. I'll let you do it because it's your show. If she would come back for a round table, could you imagine the conversation?
Oh yeah, we could definitely do a round table. For certain, that
Love
would
that.
be awesome.
With Julie, and maybe Rachel.
Oh yeah, some other folks. I'm actually going to be doing another podcast with
That's
another
right.
individual who has a chronic illness, cancer, and learn how they have dealt with cancer utilizing marijuana. So maybe the four of you folks could come on together and we could do a round table. I like round tables; they're very much fun.
That would be
Um,
awesome. I love having people to talk about this stuff with, because
oh yeah.
right now the job is not, I worked in dispensaries for years, but I'm doing therapy work right now with kids. So I'm like, ooh,
Oh, cool. Oh,
talk about this way, I'm in.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
no, let's
awesome
do it.
sauce. Yeah,
Well,
heck yeah.
I got one more question for you, Kim. How can listeners learn more about using marijuana for Crohn's or connect with you for future information? Would you be
I
willing to
think
share that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I'd say the easiest way is probably reaching out to me through my website or through social media. I consult with patients a lot. That's one of the things that I like doing as just like a volunteer side hustle. Full disclosure, I've never charged a patient for that. I always say I am going to, and I have not ever done that. But The psychedelichealingproject.com is my website, and then Instagram is the psychedelic healing project. So that'll share more about my story, what I'm up to these days, because I am currently working on a psychedelic assisted therapy certification so that I can work with
Cool.
people in the mental health realm with plant
Yeah.
medicine and psilocybin and ketamine.
Oh yeah. Then definitely you need to be talking to Rachel, because Rachel is a licensed professional counselor in an in-house treatment center. So
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
so and she was like, when we were talking to her the other day, it would just be cool to see how you've got this idea of utilizing cannabis in a, and what'd you say, ketamine?
cannabis, psilocybin, so like magic mushrooms, and then ketamine.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that, and then how it, oh yeah. Okay. We're going to make it happen. I'm
Oh
too
yeah. Oh
excited
yeah. I
about it
know.
now.
I see your brain going.
Oh yeah. I've got mice in the wheel, and it's running hard. So, well, I just want to say I'm so excited that you have been with us on our show this evening. It is evening time. So I'm just really, I can't hold on to my microphone apparently. And I'm looking forward to having you on the show again.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
will be fucking awesome. We're
I'm
gonna do a
Oh, we can
round
say that
table.
word too. Fucking awesome. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
fuck yeah, baby! Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Hey, do you like my joint right here?
It's not lit up. You need to light your joint.
Yeah, I need to light my joint.
It just fell.
That's
Whoever
perfect.
installed that for you needs to be fired.
I'm a little stoned.
Oh, I see it now. That's cute.
Hold on.
Oh.
Oh.
Man, that got you lit.
It did get
Super
me
bright.
lit. Man, it is really bright.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Golly.
You know, it's
Thank
too
you so
funny,
much
Kim.
for having me. What?
Oh my gosh, it's been awesome. You know, Kim, Tyra doesn't smoke at all, right? I mean, she's done it a few times, but it's just not her thing.
Right.
But she will buy all of my paraphernalia.
That's a
She will
good
buy
partner.
everything. Oh yeah, I mean, like the shirt
yeah.
I have on, it says
Oh.
plant manager. I mean, I've got a beanie with the marijuana leaf. I mean, I can't tell you how many grinders I have now.
Yeah, I bought her
It's
a ton
just
of grinders.
t-shirts, you name it. She's bought it for me. So, but yeah.
Love the support there.
Yeah.
And
So,
don't forget, Mau
What
Mau
an
made
honor
your
and privilege.
pinata.
right.
Aw.
My niece
saw
made
that.
JJ Roach.
JJ Roach.
We had a
Hey.
contest who could name it. And McFly
McFly.
333 on TikTok actually won the contest. So she gets a customized t-shirt from the
Nice.
Pothead Shirt Shop.
Nice. Are you on Instagram by chance?
She is.
I am on Instagram as Animos 420 Sesh.
I will go find you.
All right, you find
Hot
me,
dog.
and I'm on TikTok. But
I
Yeah.
on
can't
Pothead short.
Is it back in the app stores yet? Because I never had TikTok.
oh,
Uh-huh.
I don't
I
have
think
an
it is.
Apple
Let me-
phone.
Girl, you know I gotta look.
She said Apple.
Yeah, I got Apple phone now.
Your
We don't have.
iPhone.
I know. I'll
Yeah.
try as soon as TikTok is available to us peasants again.
To
I
the,
will
to
try
the
and get
masses.
TikTok.
That's funny. That's funny.
Hey, Boo Boo.
Hey.
You know what? You got to get her to move.
Oh yeah,
Get her to move.
we got some music. Can you hear the music?
Yeah, you
should
can hear it.
You can hear the music, can't you?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So start grooving.
Start grooving.
You don't hear it?
Grooving, Kim.
Oh, you hear it. You hear it.
Yeah. Hear it?
I'm gonna groove like I pretend I can sing.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, you have a great night. While y'all are jiving, I'm going to say goodnight, and we will be back very soon with our next guest. So stay tuned. Don't forget to go ahead, like, subscribe, and follow me on TikTok at Pothead Shirt Shop. Hope you have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Peace out,
Thank
girl
you.
scout.